Welcome to the podcast. I'm so tired, guys.
Well, we have a good reason to be tired, don't we?
And you know what? Like, I see if you can notice in the podcast, I feel like we would be talking about something and all of a sudden my mind would just
I think it got better as the morning went on.
Yeah.
But you still have a few mind blanks every so often.
Yeah, like I blanked out. I don't understand. Why don't you? Why am I the one that always struggles through everything?
I'm exhausted.
And you just come in and like, Nikki's keeping us on track.
Nope,
She's watching the time.
I'm just as
She's
tired.
making sure I know, but why am I the one that shows it?
I don't know. I don't know. We're different people. We have strengths and strengtheners.
No, Nikki has strengths and I have weaknesses, so we balance out.
It's not even a weakness. It's just
I'm just tired, okay?
You're just tired. And you know what is also different?
What?
I have had more sleep this week, where you've had trouble sleeping all
I've
week.
had a terrible
so I think
time
you're just
sleeping.
extra tired.
Yeah, so whatever. I just did it. Remember what everybody said? That I say whatever? I just said it.
I know. Now you're going to be super noticing it.
Well, I wasn't whatevering at you.
No, everybody understands. But we did our RIOT Ugly Christmas Sweater Party last night. So when you're done with the podcast, please take some time this weekend. Spend more time with us. You can actually watch our Christmas party that we did. It's on our Facebook page, which is your best bet if you go to RadioU or RadioU Riot. If you want to join us on our YouTube channel, that's a RadioU Riot. And it's the... just look in the most recent videos. You'll see our Ugly Christmas Sweater Party.
Okay, Nikki, here's what we got. Today in the podcast, the AeroPress.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to go work on that later today? How about tomorrow morning?
You know what? It depends. I don't know if I'm going to work on it right now. But I am very
much...
Just
take it home.
I'm really looking forward to using it. I think it's super cool.
He's looking forward to a clean cup of coffee.
Yeah. So there's that. We talk about Froot Loops Pop-Tarts, headphone returns, helicopters, and drinking, butt injections.
Oh, that makes an appearance.
The green room, gingerbread houses, and 2 lawsuits. Podcast is a little shorter.
No.
I left out a couple of the more egregious. I don't think I knew what I was talking about while we were doing that break.
So you passed on that?
I left a couple of them out.
All right. Well, at least you're getting something.
Which I will say, probably right now you're like, oh, well, I want to hear those. No, you don't.
Nope.
You don't.
It's not like in a scandalous way. It's just probably in a more boring way.
It's more like in a... Did he even have a point? Was he going somewhere with that?
Well, enjoy the best of what we felt like you guys should listen to.
Yeah.
And coming up later next week, we've got our Worst of Riot 2019 podcast. Those will start where during Christmas and New Year's break, you'll get a chance to hear a specific set of a time as we go through our favorite moments of this year as we usher in the new year. So podcast listeners, just expect that coming soon.
And you know, I don't think, did we mention it? Did we talk about the fact that you can see the archived Christmas sweater party?
I did.
You did. Okay. All right.
That was just during one of those
moments. Well,
moments. You've been typing over there.
I'm writing the synopsis because I'm afraid I'll forget it. So I thought if I started writing the synopsis that goes on the podcast right now, then I would make sure that it got there.
Enjoy the podcast and have a wonderful weekend.
Bye.
Uncomfortable silences during that morning carpool? Not a problem. These two never shut up. It's the Riot on RadioU.
What do you think of my cup of coffee?
Where's it at?
Yeah.
You still don't have it yet?
No.
Well, I didn't want the Christmas present to be a burden to you.
You know what I think we're going to have to do? I think I'm going to have to just brew some coffee and then...
practice later.
Yeah, because what's happening here... Nikki and I watched the video. She got me an AeroPress last night, which if you missed it, there's an archive, riot.radiou.com. It's on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel as well, of last night's ugly
Christmas sweater party. It was so much fun, and it was so great to talk to so many of you guys.
We really did have a great time. So that happened last night, and she got me this AeroPress for Christmas, which is wonderful. And I mean, I've heard a little bit about it, but just Googling it, people are nuts for these things. Like, they love them. So I'm really excited to get some coffee out of it. But what's happening is that I put it together. It comes in just a couple of parts. What they say about it being easy to clean is no lie. Very easy. But what's happening is I'm pouring the water in, it's basically just going through the filter. And it's supposed to, like a French press, it's supposed to hang there for a while.
And actually go and filter through the filter.
Then you're supposed to plunge it. Oh. And that's not happening. Now, according to AeroPress's website, of course, it's my fault.
It's a little user error.
But you know what? that's what we expect at this point, right? That it is my fault.
Is anyone near the vicinity of the studios who knows how to use one?
Now, according to their FAQ, they say that what's happening is that I'm either A, probably pouring the water in too fast.
Oh, you got to give it a moment.
I need to kind of slowly add water. And admittedly, I think I've just been like, whoop.
But I think they don't realize we only have so long between songs.
Only have so much time.
So we either need like a 2 or 3 song stretcher, or you're going to have to wait.
Well, and the other thing it says that if after slowly pouring coffee in, it still doesn't work, that's because my coffee is not a fine enough grind.
These are fixable problems, though.
They are.
These are fixable.
I do feel like the coffee I have is a fine grind. I do feel like I've wasted a bunch of coffee in the last few minutes.
Clean's easy, though.
But it is an easy cleanup.
You have to fix it.
It's, the only way this could move any faster is if I just started pouring the coffee directly in the trash.
Well, I mean, is it cleaner coffee? Is it better?
I don't know. So I just want you to know, Nikki, I'm going to figure it out.
You're going to get it.
But I don't think it's going to be this morning.
You're going to get it. Just don't feel pressure. I don't want it to become like it's a burden.
Yeah. Well, I feel like after the show,
you'll get it.
I feel like what I really need is 10 minutes of concentrated time. And I hope, please don't be mad at me, but I forgot about the AeroPress until it was time to make coffee this morning.
And you just weren't ready yet.
No. And so I went in to make coffee and I was like, oh, the AeroPress, great.
Every day, it's a journey.
It is a journey.
It's a journey, and you're learning. You're on a road trip.
And you know what, Nikki? We're on this journey together.
Actually, the video he was watching was this guy that was just like, brah. You had a road trip. You can like make it so easily in the parking lot.
It was the
most chill guy ever.
Chill, but I'm sorry, I got to say it. One of the most pretentious coffee videos
ever made.
Yeah,
but I think he's just on a different wavelength, and you too can do that if you get that thing working.
He's on a wavelength, Nikki.
He's on something.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Okay, so new Pop-Tart flavor for 2020.
Yeah.
Froot Loops.
That could work. What do we think about that?
Well, okay, I want you to know that I, of course, ate Froot Loops as a kid, just like everybody did. Maybe you guys didn't, but I did. And I never, in my entire childhood, figured out that they spelled Froot Loops F-R-O-O-T.
Oh, is that new for you? I don't think I noticed that either.
I think it was like a year or two ago that revelation kicked in. And I don't remember who it was or where it was, but somebody had a blog post explaining that all Froot Loops taste the same. That no matter what the color of the Froot Loop is that you're getting, there's just a Froot Loop flavor. And that's what you get no matter what.
If you're thinking you're getting anything else, it's really just your mind being swayed by the color.
It blew me away.
Because remember we had those Froot Loop donuts from Carl's Jr. and Hardee's?
Yeah, we did.
And that was a few years ago. And, I mean, they were delicious and they really tasted just like it. But it was all the different colors. And you're like, wait, it's one taste.
It's one flavor. That might actually be where that all started.
Where we learned that?
Because I just remember reading that and going, no, it can't be true. No, no.
For Froot Loops, or at least for Pop-Tarts, I actually prefer like the cookies and cream or the chocolate, like that sort of side of things.
Yes,
not
me
the
too.
fruity ones,
me too.
But these could be good.
I'll say this. I'm willing to try it.
We are.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. It says on the cover, natural fruit flavors.
Well, they're not real. I mean, it's a flavor.
Well, I was actually going to say...
There's not pieces of fruit in there.
What you're saying, when you say natural fruit flavors, you're not saying that you're putting fruit in it. What you're saying is that you are putting in the flavor of a fruit that's available in nature.
I don't think that's any different than any of their other flavors.
I'm sure that's true, but man, Toucan Sand on some Pop-Tarts? What is going on?
Did they say when and where?
I don't believe that I have a release date. Okay, this, again, it's just one of those...
just an article. Could be, could be not.
Just a maybe, but they're saying January.
January, in any particular place? Or
nope.
All right. It'll be everywhere you're not looking, so...
I'm still scrolling to see if I missed it, but I don't see any kind of a location here.
So that's the Froot Loop Pop-Tart.
What if it was available everywhere?
Well, that'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
It's hard for us because when they do the exclusives, it's fine. But when you go there, they're never still there, or you just can't find it.
Or they're not out yet.
They're not out yet. It's just a big mess. Why can't you just have it everywhere? Why can't you just bring it here?
Why can't you just feed it to me right now?
No, that's pathetic. The other ones were still doable. You took it too far.
No, it's not like right up to that line. I need it.
That's where it was bad.
Could you put it in my cupboard? That's as far as
that's what grocery stores are moving towards. So again, that's not weird.
Could you put it in the toaster?
Okay. Maybe that's where the line starts going.
Okay. All right. Well, I think it's because they're touching it.
Sure. Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Giving every novelty food the publicity it so blatantly desires. It's The Riot on RadioU.
Okay, Nikki, question time.
Yeah.
Last night I had a little bit of a conundrum, and I should have brought it up on the show, but I didn't because we were having so much fun.
Good thing is we have now this show you can bring it up. We got all the time in the world.
We have so much stuff. Now, when I tell you about this item, I just want to be clear. It is not part of the stocking stuffer week, so if you think I bought this so I could send it to you, I didn't.
This is not what that is.
Everybody relax. Your chance for that still to come. So you know that, a week, 2 weeks ago, I bought myself a pair of wireless earbuds or whatever from Costco.
Yeah. What are you doing?
What?
Are we returning them?
I think so.
Well, wait, this is your second pair to return.
I know, but the very same pair is on sale $60 cheaper at Amazon.
You're just going to keep going with this, though? Meaning, like,
I know.
You're going to fall into this.
I know, but, like, it is one of those things, though, right? Like, for $60, wouldn't you put in the effort to return it?
Yeah, as long as I was sure the ones from Amazon are coming, they're coming clean, they're coming good.
Well, I thought that I would not,
return
the other ones until the Amazon ones got here, and I did confirm that I didn't fall into some kind of weird scam, but it was an Amazon deal of the day.
No, I know.
From them.
I bought a deal of the day the other day, and they just came in yesterday, and there's like Scotch tape, like over on top when there really shouldn't. The box looks a little like both of the boxes, and it's not bad. It just looks like maybe not sent with care or kept with care. So that's the only reason. And that was a deal of the day, too.
They got a lot of things happening
at
the Amazon warehouse
right now. They do.
It
just looked opened several times. So.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that.
But if you wait, then you'll be perfectly fine. Just don't return your ones to Costco until
with Costco,
the last
you've
moment.
got 90 days to take them back. So, yeah. But, I mean, you know what? Okay, I did the math wrong. I saved 50. Not 60.
Still pretty good. Still very good.
You know what? I felt like for $50, that's kind of hard to pass up. Like $50, and all I have to do is, wait in a return line.
No, if you can wait till after Christmas then.
Oh, that hurts.
That's even worse. Never mind. Don't do that.
No, what I was thinking is I'll just wait until like mid-January.
Yeah.
I have 90 days.
You wait till the very last moment. But then you're one of those people. You're waiting till the last day. It's like the lady at Costco last year who was returning a Christmas tree. Real one.
No.
Like real Christmas tree after Christmas.
That makes you a terrible person.
That was like a cheapness I have never experienced. We were all just like staring at her like, what are you doing? You can't actually do that, but they did.
Yeah, that makes you a terrible person. So, yeah. No.
Scott says just keep the ones you got from Costco and return the ones you get from Amazon.
You know what? I actually bought a different color. Because at Costco, they're only available in blue, and I bought red ones.
Ooh.
And the reason I bought red is because, I just thought that they stood out a little more than the blue ones do.
Sure.
Because everything I own is black, and so when you put my black headphones in my black bag in the dark, I can't find them. So I thought with a pair of red ones, they'd be easier for me to keep track of.
So Jason and Nathan wanted to know which ones you got.
I got let me make sure I get it right, the Jabra Elite Active 65T earbuds. And the active part is important because you get an extra level of like sweat resistance or something. And I do sweat.
You do need that.
I do.
Well, good. At least you'll get $50. You're saving money.
Once I convinced you about how right I was, you think I did the right thing?
I don't know if I would have done that. I don't know if I would have noticed if it was on sale again.
Yeah.
But you're looking for a good deal, and you're right, $50 is a lot of money.
$50, right?
Or why don't you just see if Costco will price match?
Because it's a deal of the day. So I didn't want it. It would have gone away. Though I see that deal of the day is still on right now.
Hey, well, you don't have much time.
The worst podcast with the best listeners. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Dude, I am looking at this. I don't know what kind of a helicopter it is, but they called it the Celebrate Freedom helicopter. It was a privately owned helicopter in Columbia, South Carolina that, according to the CFF, that's the Celebrate Freedom Foundation, they would take it to events, and it was like an educational thing. They said they would take it to schools and all these different things so kids could get a look at a real-life helicopter.
That sounds good.
Now, did they fly it in or drive it in? I don't know the answer to that. I think they might have flown it. But what I'm looking at here is that a drunk driver, wherever the heck this thing is, plowed into it and caused over $500,000 worth of damage to the helicopter.
Well, I guess I'm confused where this helicopter was in comparison to like how a drunk driver got near it.
It looks like it's at the airport or an airport. And, like sometimes people drive to the airport drunk.
I don't think so.
I don't know. But does that look like the airport to you? Doesn't it look like a private airfield?
It does. Like it's got some fence, and it looks like that's where the airstrip part is. So
right.
I think it's outside of the airport, but still in the airport. It's not like on the
tarmac.
That's it.
That's true. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. However somebody got to it, a drunk driver took out a helicopter.
Ooh, it's only $5,000 worth of damage. It looks like more. What?
$500,000.
No, it says causing $5,000 worth of damage. Someone's making either
Nikki, I just want you to know, I really think the article that you're looking at is wrong.
Oh, it's different?
I really think so.
Okay, it says $5,000 if you look under the picture, but $5,000 or $500,000. Someone's made a mistake.
Someone has made a mistake.
Yeah, if you look under the video, it says causing $5,000 worth of damage.
Well, if you look under my video, you'll
says
see.
$500.
It says $500,000.
Whose video is right? Please text in. Let us
Nikki,
know.
I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I feel like given the item it
is going to be probably $500,000.
And do you see how there are parts everywhere?
I've taken a mirror off, and that was like $5,000 of a car, let alone a helicopter. But you do see it. I just want to make sure that I'm not super tired and I'm not just missing zeros.
No.
Do you see it?
I see it, Nikki.
Okay, it says $5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
just makes me feel better.
Yeah, no, it's not you.
It's the article.
I think there's a mistake here, but I really think it's $500,000. Again, just because of what it is. And I'll tell you what, I would give at least $5 to get an opportunity to listen to the phone call to the insurance company.
Oh, no. Sometimes, I don't know if they're supposed to, but sometimes when you have a big claim, the next time that it's up for them to renew you, they're probably not going to pick you to be on their insurance company.
Yeah, I have uninsured, underinsured or whatever. And part of that is collateral damage. Or
yeah,
it's
if you're not, what have you hit?
I don't have that kind of coverage. Not that much. And I don't even know if your insurance works if you've got a DUI.
Well, okay, it's not just insurance. He was drunk driving. So that also is a legal thing there, too. They'll dump you anyways.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Stephanie says her husband works in aviation. It's $500,000.
Did you see Izzy's? Let's just meet in the middle
and call it $50,000. I'm going to use.
I like that.
There's something. Something about that math that feels a little off, but
it's not the middle. But
okay,
we'll take it.
I know what you mean.
That is so cute.
Oh my gosh!
But yeah, I think Stephanie, I assume you're right too. He says it's $500,000. We'll go with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, the State Highway Patrol in Virginia has been using, or excuse me, in North Carolina has been using this as a hey,
educational one.
Look how stupid you can be when you drive drunk, and you might crash into a helicopter.
Adam, did you read his text? He said it's probably a $3 to $5 million machine. So ...
Yeah. And
we're probably saying again the 500,000.
Okay, if you own the helicopter, do you have helicopter insurance? Is that a
They
thing?
must have helicopter insurance.
And does your helicopter insurance cover a DUI? Like with a car?
Not sure.
Me either.
These are worlds we don't live in.
I know, but I want to know.
The whining, the loathing, the insightful commentary on postmodern historical doctrine. Okay, maybe not the last one. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
You know what? Hey, is anybody staying home for Christmas, like over the Christmas holiday? Go ahead and put your hands up. Or go ahead and text 8772 Radio U.
Just a quick me.
Yeah, because here's the thing is, like, I have a friend, let's call her Vicky. And Vicky has 4 animals.
It's me.
No, it's Vicky.
Okay.
Vicky has 3 dogs that she loves very much, and they're the star of her Instagram account and all these things, right? And then she also has...
One cat.
Now, the dogs, she has taken a lot of care to make sure they're being boarded and cared for while she's on vacation.
They have to go to a doggy camp, so they're all set.
Yeah. But the cat, she has no plans for the cat.
I woke up and I was in the shower and I suddenly had this just moment where I was like, Panda! I didn't set anybody up to watch him.
So what do you do with that?
I don't know. Sometimes with cats, you can like leave a bunch of food out, but he's going through something right now where he likes to ask for a lot of food, and I think he would eat himself sick, like if I left it out.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to see if
a holiday.
Well, I mean, we're all gaining a little holiday weight, and he's no different. But I don't want him then just like getting sick everywhere if we're not there. So I'm probably going to have to ask someone to go check in on him. But I completely forgot.
Nikki,
I'm so embarrassed.
Aaron's staying home for the holidays. You want to...
Oh, Aaron, what you guys doing?
Well, he says it sounds like he's not really doing anything. And he had a lot of comments about the helicopter insurance.
Yeah, he seems smart.
Yeah, I mean, smart enough to text, I guess.
Looking for someone to pop in, just say hello to him, make sure he's good, fill up his little food bowl, and that's it.
How often do you have to do that?
It's how often can the person do it? That's when you're finding a pet sitter. That's how you have to phrase it. It's not about, it's about what works.
So you're saying
you're just trying to get anybody.
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to really board him. You can take him to a little kitty camp, but
so, why not kitty camp?
He doesn't like that stuff, so.
I can't imagine a cat that does. I can't imagine a cat that's like,
Cats
really
I can't
don't
understand.
wait to go hang out with other cats.
He's like, here's your whole house. Or now you're like, okay, sit in this little cage now for the next so many days, where dogs, have their little cages.
And they're fine with it.
Yeah, doggies are, but not cats.
Yeah.
They're free to roam.
Yeah. Well,
so I'm going to have to find someone.
Man, cats are apex predators. Mm-hmm. Like you're staying in their house, actually. And I mean, with dogs, I don't think they feel that way as much. They're excited about you and loving you and all that stuff.
Yep.
But with cats, they're like, oh, it's back, invading my space. At least that's how I perceive cats.
Now, see, Panda's not so much. Panda's like, are you feeding me now? Are you feeding me now? He literally just meows over the whole day.
He just
over
wants to
and
eat.
over. Now. And I alternate between, am I getting the dry food or am I getting the canned food? What are we doing here?
Hey, in fairness, there are lots of times when I'm thinking about lunch as soon as we get here.
He's just vocalizing it where we're in our head saying the same thing.
Well, sometimes we say it out loud.
I need to set a reminder to work on that today.
Well, you don't want to remember as you're headed to the airport.
No, I don't. And I feel a little ashamed.
Isn't Panda your rescue?
Panda? Yeah. I got him from the shelter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's that have to do with it?
Well, no, what I was going to say is, like, Nikki, Panda's had a hard enough life without somebody forgetting.
No, I got him when he was like 2 months old. He was he's known no other life but comfort.
He can't remember that.
he's so comforted, yeah.
Well, hey, if anybody wants to cat sit,
I can't believe I forgot that.
You
got a lot doing.
Nikki, you got a lot going on.
I do.
You do.
The Riot has now been downloaded. Hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
I found myself being very fascinated by odd things today. A helicopter there was a DUI crash involved, and now I'm reading about butt injections.
Why did you click on it?
Okay.
Why?
I'll tell you exactly why. Farrah Abraham, who was on Teen Mom or whatever, like on MTV, I don't know, whatever. She's like an Instagram person, and we
didn't say a good Instagram thing,
no.
but just is.
So she's getting butt injections, which I'm just like, why do I care? Here's the part that got me. Normally, I just go right past that. But it said that they last 5 years.
And is it 5 years?
5 years. And that's the part that I need to know about.
Why is it only 5 years?
Why does it last 5 years? To me, it should last 5 minutes or forever. It seems like there's only two options here. How is it that you're going to stick something under your skin that is...
It must be liquid and it dissipates.
Okay, according to this...
Or because you're sitting on your bottom every day for so much, maybe something happens with it.
Nikki, she's not sitting around. She's just getting paid to
stand.
I don't know, whatever the heck she does.
You're like, I'm going to keep these things and get them working for the next 8 years. You get a longer life with them. I can't sit anymore. So you stand or you lay down.
This says that it's artificial fat that is basically freeze-dried so that when it injects...
From other parts of your body, or...?
I don't think so. It's artificial.
Yeah.
So that when it's injected, your body actually begins to manufacture and, liquefy the fat, or whatever. I don't know, whatever. Like, hydrate the fat in that area, and then it...
Poofs up?
Yeah.
Why can't they just use fat from other parts of your body?
I mean, you can, but I don't think it lasts as long.
Well, 5 years is not as long either.
I don't know. The other thing I find fascinating is I just read her thing, and she's like, this is for girls that are having a really hard time gaining weight. And I just...
Says who? In your bottom area?
I just want to let you know that I'm not just saying this. I don't know what that's like. And I'm fascinated by it. I have heard people say, like, I'm really trying to put on some weight. And I'm just like, I don't understand.
Well, I think that's if someone is unhappy with their body shape and they want to...
that's called dysmorphia.
...have a different look for part of their body.
Okay. Well, I'm not happy with my body shape either, but I'll tell you what, fat injections is not going to be what's going to fix that.
I don't think so. I don't want to close any doors because who knows?
You're right.
We've not seen a doctor. We don't know.
Yeah. I mean, maybe if there were parts of my body that were plumper.
If we come in and we're started like, no, I can't sit, then you know what's gone on.
Shut up.
You started clicking and you found out too much information about this procedure.
Well, there you go. That's like 5 years, Nikki. I still don't know why it only lasts 5 years. Like,
keep looking, keep clicking.
No, I'm done. Does your body metabolize it?
Does it eat itself?
I don't know.
Where do you go when you need someone to listen to your problems and give you a big hug? Not here. Obviously, this is The Riot on Radio U.
So last night, I found myself driving back to Radio U at a time of day that I do not normally drive back to Radio U.
We did the show in the evening, so you had to come back to work.
Yeah, and sometimes I have this idea about how to save time, and it ends up just being the dumbest idea. And it's like this. It's all because I didn't want to go back. So when I was driving, I was at this gas station, and it was like, if I had gone back a half mile and taken this one road, I'll bet my commute would have been 35, 40 minutes, at the most. But instead, I was like, no, I don't want to go back. I'm going forward. And I thought, it's not a good idea. And I was like, that'll be fine.
So you took a different route?
I did. It took me about an hour and 20 minutes.
To get back to work?
Yeah.
Oh, that must have made you really upset, frustrated. Frustrated's the right word.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was funny because I was sitting there thinking to myself, if I had just been willing to go back just a little, like just a little bit, I would already be there.
Oh, gosh, at work.
But instead, I'm here in this mess. I'm still going to make it. Mm-hmm. But there was a much, much better way to do this. And man, talk about the life lessons just crashing on in.
Were the bells ringing in your head at that moment? Did you recognize it?
I felt it.
You were
I was
learning
like,
something there?
I did. I learned something there. And I'll tell you what, God teaches me things a lot of times through my life circumstances. And I just felt like God said to me, like, it's not that you aren't going to make it, but there are easier ways sometimes.
That's a good point.
And sometimes it involves taking a step back, maybe having to backtrack even a little bit. But, so much easier to do it that way than to trudge on ahead and face all that difficulty that you didn't really have to. And I know I'm not the only one that could use a lesson like that in their life. Here's the beautiful thing, is that that's just one example of many things that God teaches me. Am I like always getting it right? No. Sometimes I end up in traffic like an idiot, but that's on me most of the time, honestly. Listen, would you be willing today to go ahead and say, I need to stop. I need to backtrack, and I need to go a different way. This is the wrong way. God's giving you a chance to do that right now. He's trying to get your attention. Do it. And if you don't have a relationship with him, invite him in and let him help you make some of these choices. Say, Jesus, I need that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. I want to have a relationship with you. I need you to forgive me, and I need you to show me a different way to live because my way is a lot harder. And God loves you, and he's with you, and he's going to help you make those changes that need to happen. And, man, save yourself some trouble. Backtrack. Don't go that way. That's a bad way.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
But it was a long night.
Oh, man. I didn't sleep very well here last night.
It's hard. Well, you're not at home, and then we do have a lot of fun, but we're not used to doing 2 shows, and then one's late at night, so it's a little hard to wind down from it.
I actually think I might have been better off just going home.
Sure.
The last couple of times we've done this, I went home.
As long as you would have chosen the right way to go.
Right. But I think it would have been a better choice. Next time, I think that's...
You say that most times, but I think it'll be better.
The last few times I have, and what I'll do is I get one of those orange sleep drinks. It's like melatonin and a couple other things. Drink that on the way home, and then about 20 minutes after I get home, I'll get sleepy.
Right to sleep.
Yeah. But instead, I stayed here and was up really late because I couldn't sleep because, okay, listen, that room, the green room, we call it, it's pretty much one of the hottest places on earth.
Did you leave the door open?
I think it might be a sauna. Well, I went and got, at sometime in the middle of the night, I went into the whatever closet, found a broom, and closed the vent that is just belching hot air in my face all night.
I think the problem is the room next to it is the room that holds a lot of our equipment, so it has to stay very cold. I think it pushes the heat out to the other rooms around it while it tries to keep that super, super air conditioned.
And yes, I can't stand sleeping with the door open, but it was like open the door or never sleep.
Should have grabbed one of the fans, too, in the back.
Oh, no.
You did?
When's the last time you were in the green room?
It's been a while.
There's a fan
in there?
It's mine. I bought that fan, and I just left it in there.
Yeah.
So that when I wanted to, I could go in there and sit in front of a fan.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's a little weird.
But it was definitely fun, and it was worth it for our Christmas party, the ugly Christmas sweater party.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not worth it.
Yeah, but it was good.
The Riot, not everyone's a fan.
I wonder whose idea this was.
RadioU.
Roger, we get a fat man inbound. Santa's coming soon, Nikki. But many of us are going to be traveling so that Santa will be meeting us at places he doesn't normally
You'll be all snug in the airplane seat as you travel this holiday season.
Now, I want you to think about what are some things that you could do to make air travel more uncomfortable for you and the people around you.
I bet there's something you can think of.
Find yourself a nice smelly food.
Good idea. Bring it on the plane.
Man, the list just goes on, right? Don't take a shower. Maybe don't hold it in.
Get up over and over again when you're at the window seat.
Oh, yeah. You definitely need to make your way through.
Wear all your clothes.
And make sure that as you're walking down the aisle, you make it your personal mission to help people clear the aisle.
Yes. And will you please recline and bring your seat back and down over and over and over again?
I thought we had hit, I had seen everything that people could do to really annoy you on a flight. But I got a new one for you.
Well, you take a quick trip to Reddit and you'll see some things you've never seen before on a plane.
That's actually true. But did you know that you can take a fully assembled gingerbread house on your flight with you?
Yeah, they always bring that up on Christmas time. They're like, did you know, or at Thanksgiving, they're like, did you know you could bring a turkey on the plane?
I didn't know that.
I think you can up to a certain size.
Okay. I did not know that you could take an assembled gingerbread house on a plane.
But you have to carry it?
Yeah.
And then you have to put it under your seat or on your lap?
I don't know. Now that I don't know. but maybe you put it in the overhead compartment. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah. Mine has just hard enough time on the counter.
Yeah.
Let alone
now, to be clear, you can also
with it.
You could also bring a disassembled one, but you can only bring, if you're bringing icing, your tube can't be larger than 3 ounces.
Well, you just bring a lot of them.
Well, yeah, just a lot of little ones.
A lot of little ones, and you're
and
fine.
And then, you know what? You could build your gingerbread house on the plane.
That sounds like the worst. The worst thing ever.
It does
and the worst to be around.
That's the part I'm at. Like, you might enjoy it, but can you imagine you come into a row and a guy's like, hey, I'm sorry, but I want to bring I
got to build this before we land.
Yeah, it's a Christmas tradition that I always have this ready as soon as we come off the plane.
No, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
But you're allowed to. It's just no thanks.
I know that it doesn't have to be this way, but the image I have is somebody walking around with like a really big cookie sheet or something with a gingerbread house on it. Like, excuse me, excuse me, I'm sorry, excuse me.
No, you got to put it in like, those little carrying boxes or something.
Like it's a pet.
Yeah, like a little bakery box or something. Bring it that way.
That's not a bad idea.
But just don't bring it at all.
Wow, now, Nikki, I don't like the way you're trying to limit people.
If you're flying this Christmas, here's what you do. You get on the plane, you put your head down, and you stay quiet. Don't move around a lot.
Just shut up.
Put your AirPods in and be good, because that's what we all want. No one wants any problems on their flight.
You know what Nikki's doing again, don't you?
Being reasonable.
Yep.
Just sit there and don't do anything.
She's speaking truth again. Truth and love. Truth and love from Nikki, guys.
Everybody's waiting like, is this going to be a problem? Are we going to have a problem?
And the answer is yes.
I've never really been on a plane where someone's like lost it, where you see the videos.
Yeah.
And you just want it all to work out. That's all you want.
Just want to go home.
You want, go home or
get to wherever you're going.
Without any extra problems of, I don't know, a gingerbread house.
Oh, Jason, that's a good call. It's a support gingerbread house.
So you can bring it on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then we all start eating it. Why don't we do that?
I am hungry.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Boy, I'm telling you, like, anytime we start talking about vaping, you can just feel...
Everybody be easy, okay? Because usually someone wants to yell. Just no yelling today. It's too late.
It's very contentious, right? There's a woman now in Texas, Nikki, who understands that vaping is contentious, and she has a little something to say about it. You owe me money!
Oh, she's suing?
Oh, she's suing. She's suing Juul and 6 other e-cig companies, claiming that their vaping products left her with permanent lung damage. And you're like, okay, you might say to yourself, like, caveat emptor, like buyer beware, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's what that means.
Well, and everybody's argument to this is was she buying their actual products, or did she get a hold of something that wasn't official?
Okay, here's what she says. And this is the narrative she's starting with. She says that all of the ads that she saw for Juul drew her to start vaping, which she started in March of 2018. She claims that Juul's very high levels of nicotine led to her becoming addicted, which then led to her also using products from Evolve, Mamasan, and Yogi. She says that later in 2018, she developed bronchitis, where she went to the doctor to get treated for it. I assume she continued to vape through this process.
Oh, during the time.
And she says that now she has lipoid pneumonia, which she says is a result of the vaping. She says that she has permanent lung damage, that there's a direct line between her lung damage and that she wants damages for it.
Sure. What is she asking for?
$1 million, which the funny thing about that is, for this kind of lawsuit,
you could ask for more.
Isn't that much money?
Yeah. I wonder because for some people, for vaping, I don't know, same thing with like smoking. Like, are some people's bodies more susceptible?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like, what you don't know is maybe your lungs are just extra sensitive.
Right.
And you don't want to risk, if you start to develop a habit where you might see someone else who has the same habit not have the same effects as you. So you think you guys are fine to keep doing it.
Yeah. I mean, my great uncle, he World War II vet. Oh, I mean, he's gone now. He has died, but he smoked incessantly. And that is not what killed him. He lived to be like 93 or something absurd.
But then you have someone who was just around smoke, and it was enough.
Yeah, exactly. And so as Nikki's saying, for some people, it's true. Like something doesn't affect them. But here's my question. Like people basically, I don't think you can sue cigarette companies anymore, can you?
I don't know.
For like lung cancer or lung damage. So how are you going to sue these guys? Like I don't see how you're going to be able to get that lawsuit to go through.
Could be still new enough to...
That maybe there's not regulations in place to keep that from happening?
Probably so.
That could be.
If not, it doesn't stop them from trying.
Oh, yeah.
To sue them.
Because, there's money on the table, Nikki.
Yeah.
But see, it doesn't feel, I'm not saying it's not predatory, but it doesn't feel as predatory because her number is low.
$1 million?
$1 million for this kind of lawsuit is not a lot of money. That sounds like if you were uninsured, that would be how you could easily burn through that on medical expenses. For the kind of condition that she's talking about.
Now, Trousseau Doctor was already scheduled to be played.
Shut up.
Okay, so I'm just letting everybody know it has nothing to do with your doctor that you're going to go see. It's nothing like that. It was just ready to go.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on Radio U.
I feel like the lawsuit that we're about to talk about is a huge deal. But I also feel like I haven't been hearing a lot of people today talking about it. Like the judgment was handed down yesterday. So I don't know. Maybe it's not as big of a deal as it seems to me. Cox Communications, they are a cable company. They'd been sued and they were just handed a $1 billion verdict from a judge.
Against them?
Yes. So they have to pay $1 billion. And this is something that happened together. 53 music companies, Sony, Warner, Universal, like on and on and on. They all sued together Cox Communications, and they sued them for 10,017 copyright infringements that took place on their internet service, basically. Now, to me, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Because right now, what the cable companies in a lot of ways want, and I think it even works this way right now, or maybe not, but because it's complicated and it's always changing and all that stuff, is they kind of work as a utility. So, the water company, if you took water from the water company and used it to build a bomb, whatever that is, like the water company's not
can't
liable.
Be in trouble,
like they just provide you with water. What you did with it was on you.
They're the delivery device of getting you the item, but they're not the ones that can be in trouble.
Right. And so that's the way that internet works, or at least that's the way they want it to work. So, but the allegations are that Cox Communications, it's not that they were used for piracy. It's that these companies made them aware of the piracy. They asked for the takedowns to take place. Cox did not do it. And in fact, Cox said they were doing it. They didn't. And they are alleging, and again, maybe true, maybe not, that they actually reduced the number of staff that they had to handle these kind of complaints. And so as a result, they're saying, hey,
they didn't work with the labels and stuff for the music licensing.
Yeah, they're basically saying, hey, because you knew it was happening, we asked you to do something about it. You didn't do anything about it. You are liable.
For the 10 million or billion? 10 billion?
1 billion.
1 billion?
Yeah.
Still a lot. That's a lot of money.
A lot. I don't know if to a company like Cox Communications, if that, I mean, it's a lot, but is it like, hey, that's 1/10 of our yearly revenue? Or is it like, hey, that's our whole company? I have no idea.
Yeah, but they have to realize that can open things up for them and other people being liable as well. But if they weren't fixing the problem, that's a shocker. If you've ever tried to go to your internet or cable provider, but if they weren't actually fixing it and they were lying about that, then, yeah, they would be held liable.
Let's see. Who owns Cox Communications is a wholly owned subsidiary of Cox Enterprises. The family that owns them is worth about $32 billion. Cox Communications is valued at $17 billion, according to Forbes. And, I mean, we all read our Forbes magazine, right?
So I'm sure it's correct.
Yeah, well, that's what I've got for you. But
that's an interesting lawsuit there.
Not a small amount of money, Nikki. And you know what? I don't need $1 billion. You can go ahead and all those people that stole our podcast, I'm willing to settle for 100,000.
Even 100. We go all the way down to that. Just a couple.
Listen, if we're going to
start high, you have a place to go down to, sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it. Do it again.
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
I think he's like, my nutty buddy. I take him with me where I go.